Hello and welcome. I'm back on the 71 Catalina convertible project. I'm going to be removing the tail panel. First I have to try to pry some of the dent out. It's dented pretty extensively on both sides. The deck lid is also smashed pretty good. So I'm going to be putting a different deck lid on there and trying to see exactly how far I have to push the tail panel out before cutting it out and putting in a replacement piece. There's going to be a lot of spot welds to get rid of. I don't know if I'll get to it all in this video. I resurrected an old 4-ton ram to push out the tail panel. It actually worked out quite well. I didn't get a chance to film it all, but it basically did push out the dent pretty well to where it's supposed to be. Problem is the trunk floor is still a little bit buckled. It has to be hand pounded out, and I'm going to work on that as well as soon as the tail panel is off. All right, here's where I'm at. I've got the dent pulled out the best I could with all the rot that's between the trunk floor and the rear valance. Not really making any progress as far as pushing the dent out in the trunk. So the plan is to take off the valance. I'm not going to find all the spot welds right now. I'm just going to cut within the line a little bit. And the reason the trunk won't close all the way right now is because the tail panel is very much lifted up in the center. It's actually lifted up and smashed down, so there's no clearance. And you can see that discoloration right there. That's where the deck lid is actually hitting. So as soon as I get that tail valance out, I'm going to take stock in exactly where the trunk is falling. I've got a little bit of a lip here between the rear valance and the deck lid, and then it's down quite a bit here, so I'm almost wondering if the deck lid has got a slight bend to it, or the quarter panel has got a little kink in it from the rear damage that was there. Either way, I'll be able to fix that once this tail panel is gone. There'll be basically nothing in the way to push this up a little bit if it is in fact the quarter panel that's smashed. I'll take some measurements and find out. But I'm going to just cut this out now, and then I'll go back and remove all this material and find the spot weld so I can drill them all out. I want to keep the rain gutter here, so I'm just going to kind of cut right here, cut this off, leave all the crap that's connected to the trunk floor there, and we'll see what happens with it. Again, I'm going to cut this here. I got to leave this part of the the trunk weather strip rail up to this point. So I'm just going to kind of cut it off so I don't accidentally remove material that I need. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to get started. Watch. Okay, I got the tail panel out. The only thing left to do is I gotta find the spot welds on here to remove the part of the tail panel that's behind the quarter, as well as moving this side of the piece off, so I can tuck this under the new tail panel. Same on the other side. This was definitely a replacement tail panel that was on here, and I can see the spot welds here, but it's just there's so many of them, it's insane. And then I've got some rot on the quarter up here, but that's no problem at all. Take care of that. And then I have to piece the trunk floor together before I go to put the tail panel on. So I'm going to be cutting all this rot out and basically mating the trunk floor up to the new tail panel. The only piece I can keep is this one. It's just it's actually pretty solid. There's yeah. So I'm going to probably keep this corner as a reference. And the other one's pretty, well, I guess the other one's savable, but it's pretty rancid down below. So that's it. Next, again, I will try to take out the spot welds and remove the inner piece of metal that's still attached, as well as the trunk weather strip channel piece. And then it'll be on to patch the trunk. Thanks a lot for watching. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel for notifications on this project's progress and other how-to videos. Thanks!